Hi, welcome back to another gadget report. Let's talk gadgets. And this week we are gonna talk about new gadgets or not. So stick around. I'm talking about a new plan, a new tests that Airbus has been doing. Um, they may be rather controversial, so let's talk gadgets. And let's talk gadgets. And this week we are going to talk about something rather controversial. It already happened with cars and obviously caused a little bit of controversy, and it still is controversy issue. But when we talk about planes, I think things go to another level, if you like. And I'm talking about an autonomous rather, I'm sorry for the mistake, an autonomous aircraft. And we can see already where this is going, and we can see already all the screams of controversy here. So let's continue and let's talk about these gadgets. So according to Australian magazine, Australian Aviation, there was an article there that said that Airbus is testing these capabilities, new technology, to create an autonomous aircraft. What they're doing, and according to this article, they have equipped a A350 with cameras all over the aircraft in several areas. So these cameras would be able to assist with taxiing, with flying. I'm reading my obviously my notes. With they would be able to assist with landing. They would be in flight and also with taxiing. The cameras would be using a technology that is based on a very common bug, which is the dragonfly. And we know that the dragonfly have sensors in their eyes. They have the capability of recognizing things, recognizing environmental landmarks. And this is what Airbus recreated with this new technology. These cameras will be able to recognize environmental landmarks, just like what happens with the dragonfly, and that will help the aircraft, or will help steer the aircraft and make the aircraft fly, basically. So obviously the plan with this technology would be reduce staffing costs for airlines, but, and there's always a but, of course, and you can see where this is going. This is rather controversial, and it has obviously received a lot of opposition, and rightly so, in my opinion. So of course, we can see that an aircraft filled up with cameras, and we can see that this technology may be helpful in a lot of ways, because obviously it's such, just like what happens in cars. We have the park assist, where we have the cameras in the cars, and it helps the driver when they're parking the car and all sorts of things, but you still have a human controlling the car. And a lot of controversy was actually brought up when Tesla started testing their own autonomous cars, and apparently there was an accident in the United States where someone got hit by one of these driverless cars. So and there's still a lot of controversy, and obviously there's a lot of regulation to be made about this. And these cars, as far as I'm concerned, it's still not legal to put a car on the road where there's not a driver controlling it. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not permitted. And we see why. We see why. When we talk about an aircraft, and everything that can go wrong inside an aircraft, I think the concerns take a totally different level. It just goes to another level. The article also mentioned that this project receives serious opposition from pilots associations and pilot unions, etc., for obvious reasons, quote unquote. And obviously, I see why, and rightly so, I think. Um, I'm not a person that averse to technology and averse to advances in technology. Totally the opposite. I think technology is very important, and we need to equip ourselves with technology to evolve and create things that are better. Aviation has been great to what concerns to the environmental technology, and with the hydrogen projects, with SAF projects, with more fuel efficient aircrafts and all that. And it's been great. And this is when you put technology to a good use. However, I can see where the pilots come from. And of course, if the article, and I believe the context that this is said in the article is the context of actually trying to say, well, of course they're going to be against it because they are trying to save their job. Well, it's obviously a very valid argument, and of course they will try to save their job. It's their livelihood. However, I don't think that's the only reason the pilots are so concerned, even though, of course, that would be one of the main reasons about that. But I think, and we know with aircraft, and we know that things can go wrong really rapidly, and they can go terribly wrong really fast. And obviously, we need someone to react to things and to know what to do. And quite frankly, I do not think that a machine, just the aircraft by itself, and we already know issues where technology actually was the demise of aircraft. We saw the issue with Boeing and all those crashes because the system was actually not functioning correctly. We saw many crashes in the past because technology was not actually being used or was not doing a good job, or was actually needing some tuning, fine tuning there. And of course, I believe technology should be there as a aid, not as a substitution. And I do believe that we still need pilots. And the article mentioned, for example, there wouldn't be the need for the first officer. There would be just the captain in the cabin. Well, I still think that it's quite questionable. I am not sure that will ever happen. Because first of all, I can imagine a long haul flight, a captain will need to rest. That's what happens. That's current practice. One pilot goes and has a rest, and the other take control of the aircraft, and then they swap when the aircraft is on cruise and it's on autopilot. However, we always have to have a human there should anything come up, should any problem happen. If you only have one pilot, if you reduce to one pilot, that pilot either won't be able to rest, or if he does, there won't be anybody. And I think that will, in terms of safety and in terms of what currently happen, if I have pilots listening to this, please give me your input. I would like to hear from you. I would like to hear from actually those who are inside the cockpit every day and do this job every day, because obviously I am not a pilot. I've never been. I would love to, but I've never been into a cockpit, so I do not know. But my input, what I think is that this won't happen for so many reasons. I'm not saying the technologies won't be implemented as a aid to pilots. I'm not saying that, and I think it might be an extra layer of help a pilot will have in flight. I just don't think that we will have autonomous aircraft flying for a lot of reasons, and this is my personal opinion. First of all, because I don't think it's safe, and safety regulations will come first. And secondly, because if with two pilots in the cockpit, there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of people that are scared of flying, and when they go, they suffer from all sorts of anxiety. If they are to know that there won't be a pilot in there, that the aircraft will be flying itself, they would simply not fly. So airlines will start losing passengers. So yeah, they theoretically will spend less in wages, but then they will have less in income as well, because people will be scared. And I do believe that they will be scared. I'm an aviation lover, as you all know. I don't think I would ever board a flight that it's not operated by a captain and a first officer, that does not have the pilots there, that does not have a human eye looking at that and having control of the machine. I know that for the most part of the flight, the aircraft will be on autopilot, but I also know that I'm assured that there's a human eye, there's a pilot there. Should anything happen, should engine failure happen, should anything else happen, he is there to take control and do the best he can to save us all. If a pilot is not there, I'm not sure of that. So this is what I read. This is what Australian Aviation published. I'll leave the link below so you can read the full article. And I would be very interested to know your opinion about this. If you are a pilot, even so, if you are a pilot, I would love to hear the opinion of people that actually work as a pilot. I would like to know your input. Would you agree that this is not the best thing for aviation and may not be implemented in the way that it's planned, quote unquote? So this was our controversial gadget for this week. That's all for today. I hope you really like this gadget report from today. I know it is a rather controversial topic. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear if you actually agree with me and you think not a good idea at all. Or if you think, well, why not? It will be a massive evolution, etc., etc. I know a lot of people think that way. I disagree. I don't think that it would be a good idea. I still like the assurance of having pilots flying aircraft. And I would love to see them for a very long time. And I would love to see your opinion. And as I said, and I repeat, if you are a pilot and you are watching my video, please leave me your opinion. What do you think? Why? And I would love to hear a more technical approach to this. What do you think? What, in your opinion, could go wrong with this plan? And why? Why should we have pilots at all time, which I believe we should? Why should we have pilots at all times flying the aircraft? Please leave me your opinion below. And of course, if you have any suggestion of anything else that you would like to hear on our gadget report, some new gadgets that you knew about or something like that, please suggest, and I will be very, very happy to consider it. And put a like on the video and subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new gadget report every week. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. See you next week. Thank you all. Bye. Have a good week. Bye bye.